So to pry it out of the hands of these long-term holders, now that institutions are going to be given, we believe, the green light by the SEC we hope and believe the next week, the price that they're going to demand, now that this asset is so scarce, and the push in from institutions, it won't happen all at once right away. There are lots of boxes to check and so forth. But I think the long-term holders understand there's a big buyer on the way here.
Hey, everybody. It's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and the market is quite mixed in the top 50 by market cap. But there is an asset that is, again, today doing very well. We're going to talk about that, and I'll give you a hint. It's part of the XRP ledger ecosystem. Also, the intro was Cathie Wood. She is, of course, with ARK Invest. An upload about 2 hours old. She seems sure, and well, she should be in a position to have a very good feel that yes, there is a green light coming this next week for the ETFs. In this video, we're going to also listen to another Bitcoin maxi. Yes, we are, because it's all about Bitcoin. It always has been, and that's not my opinion, that's fact. It has led this entire ecosystem since 2009. And SBI, have they explained their strategy with XDC? We're going to take a look at a press release from 11 days ago that went kind of under the radar. All right, everybody, let's go. The next two very short clips, Meltem Demir's, and wow, she grew her hair out and cut her bangs. I think it looks great. The first clip explains the focus of the competition with all the ETFs going out the gate at the same time. What is going to set them apart? Well, you'll hear from Meltem what she says. And you'll also see that VanEck here is trying to stand out. They promised to donate 5% of its Bitcoin ETF profits to the Bitcoin developers. Yeah, I think that's pretty compelling. And in the second clip, what comes after this Bitcoin ETF?
So what's that battleground that you think is coming?
The battleground, it's the battleground for all asset managers. Fees, baby. Fees, fees, fees. Look, I think Bitcoin is obviously the first. Bitcoin also has the most regulatory clarity. Gary Gensler, the SEC, has repeatedly stated Bitcoin is not a security. There's no interpretation as such. I think Bitcoin needs to be, it needs to take some time for the Bitcoin ETF to trade. I think when it comes to other crypto assets, it's going to take some time just because there isn't that long track record. As of 2 days ago, Bitcoin, 15 years old, the Bitcoin network first block was mined 15 years ago. Bitcoin's been around for a long time, battle tested, markets are very deep, very liquid. We don't really see that in the longer tail of crypto assets, but what we do know is there's tremendous investor demand. Today, there is over 50 billion in global AUM across crypto ETPs. Now, 38 billion of that, or over 75%, is in Bitcoin. But the next 10 billion Ethereum. Then we've got Solana, very popular this recent year, and a long tail of others. But I do think it's just going to take some time for the market to get comfortable.
Now, I spoke about this asset in my last video. It's up 64% on the 7-day. And I heard from my Patreons, the American citizens, that they were having trouble finding a centralized exchange to get their trades done. Yeah, for Americans, it's getting harder and harder to find these centralized exchanges. So I decided to sit down today and test the DEX, the decentralized exchange called Dexter. But I was most interested in the swap because I wanted to stake this root token on the Futureverse website. Anytime you do something for the first time, the learning curve is brutal, right? But I just never give up. I swapped the XRP out for the root on 4 different very, very small transactions, like 10 XRP and 15 XRP, and then I went to 50 XRP, and then I moved to a larger chunk of 500 XRP. Finally had the confidence to do a fairly large amount, which then I brought over to the staking component. And yeah, I feel really good about it. I gave those screenshots to the Patreons and along with some tips. And I would say, well, if you've never used MetaMask before, it's going to be a very, very frustrating learning curve. For those of you who have used MetaMask in the past, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it falls somewhere around a 5 for the first time, but then, goes down to 3, 2, and 1 with some practice. And the other DeFi that is on the Root network is Moai Finance. They have a big campaign starting on the 10th. I'm going to give their functionality a try, but I just love the fact that we have this available within the XRP ecosystem. I'm keeping my eye on SBI because of their huge announcement with the XDC network. This is a joint venture. And typical Mr. Kitao, he is introducing a campaign where there'll be 1 million yen worth of XDC gifts and goods that can be won by lottery. Yeah, it's his way of introducing a new asset on the SBI VC trade. And I think it's a very step-by-step strategy. So that's a good thing because they are doing a lot of staking with XDC. And in addition to the staking, they are also going to attack that trade finance, as it says in this announcement. Here's some of the annual rates for staking on the platform as of November 2023. You can see XDC there has, a 6.6%, followed by Solana at 7.3, AVAX is 9.2, Polkadot 15.1, and look at Atom on the Cosmos network, 21.3. Before Cathie Wood takes you out on this video, we're going to jump into a little bit of fluff. This is Pumpkin, and Pumpkin is the Shiba Inu, which was the model for Dogecoin. Kobosu, as the name is in Japanese, is 17 years old, almost blind, does wear diapers, having a little bit of a struggle with arthritis, but very much taken care of, even gets a daily heat lamp to ease some of that pain. But there was a posting on the blog as of the 27th of December. I was kind of curious how things were going because Kobosu's health has declined over the last 12 months, but still doing okay. And from the pictures that I saw, quite spoiled, looking pretty good for 17. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
The halving means the rate of growth in supply is going to be cut in half. Is it to 0.4 or 0.5%?
So reduced from about 1.8% to 0.9%. So just under 1% inflation
per year,
That's
which means if you compare this to gold supply has increased on average roughly 1% per year. Bitcoin's supply growth is going to drop below that, we believe, this year. So yes, when we took our first position, it got a lot of publicity and it was highly criticized, especially from other asset management firms, I would say. And so we were watching Bitcoin like a hawk, and there was the European sovereign debt crisis threatening to rear its ugly head again. And so we were watching what happened to the Bitcoin price as the markets elsewhere, whether they're the sovereign wealth bonds or the stock markets themselves, were imploding at times. And Bitcoin was inching up, and we thought, oh, that's so interesting. Bitcoin is a risk-on asset. but it is a risk-off asset as well. And if there are going to be bankruptcy problems out there, then having a vehicle with no counterparty risk in a portfolio will become more and more important over time.